To be honest, I am not super happy with the backyard. It doesn't look that great. There is food coming, but it is really slim pickings here. It's time for the August tour. Sure, it's the last week of August, so I'm trying to get this in. It has been a busy month of lots of things going on, and I had completely planned to be out here first thing in the morning because it's much cooler. It is so warm during the day. And with me, with all my wasp escapades, I have to wear full pants. I am only wearing a short sleeve shirt today just because it is so hot, but things have to get done. What are you doing today, Maureen? As I said, I would have been here earlier, but today is a hard day because Miss Cleo, who, if you've watched some of my videos, she had fractured or even broken her back in January, and I rehabilitated her back to where she could walk again. And it has been just a labor of love to watch her do so well and grow. She had 2 bouts of sauerkraut, and I was able to cure both of those, but the vet thinks that with the last bit of sauerkraut that some of it might have aspirated and got into her lungs and caused an infection. So she was really having to work hard at breathing, and you know, she was still thriving, but you know, we could feel that her belly was starting to get distended, and I thought, yeah, I could do some antibiotics with her, but you know, they might work and they might not, but I'm just prolonging the inevitable. So that's kind of what kept me down for today. And yes, she's just a chicken, but you know, I've had 2 chickens in my career of being a chicken tenderer, but both these chickens, they had such a deep part of my heart that it is very difficult for me to let them go because they made such a big impact in my life. And with Cleo, I was going through some very traumatic things back in January with my provincial government, and her being in my room and being so helpless, she was the reason that I got up out of bed every day. She just means a lot to me. Let's get looking at this garden. So a couple of things that do have to happen while I'm here. I am going to be doing some harvesting of things, but let's go look at those tomatoes because boy, oh boy, do they ever look good. Here's one aspect that I really hate about the fall, because here is Mr. Spider here. He is here and he has made his line to go across. So I get clotheslined as soon as I break his little line there, which you can't see, but you can see the spider, but there is a line there, I guarantee it. It's always in the fall, any place that I walk that, you know, has, you know, short distance between it, I basically walk doing this or I take a stick because it's like I'll get clotheslined so many times. Your spider, you need to go. So we're gonna just drop your line. And actually, oh, you've got lots of lines here going. Let's see if I can get one of them. Nope, you're just gonna be down there. Well, just so you know, I would really appreciate if you would not be over here and that you could go someplace else, maybe over on the other side. That would be kind of nice if you do that, because you are beneficial to the garden, but okay, I can't encourage that, so we'll move on. Some gorgeous tomatoes. After that pruning, it made such a difference. Look at the size of this one here. Look at the size, he's just gorgeous. Another one there, another great big one. This one up here, just a couple ripe ones, but plenty in there. Look at that. It's just so great. That's this side. Those ones were the Nonas. So these are the Provanzanos. Again, a couple of ripe ones there. Great. And as we move down, oops, I got clotheslined. I missed it. Keep my knife going here. And then these are the, oh, here's another one right here. Okay, you need to go. I'm sorry. I know that you're probably doing well with feeding, but you need to go because I have to come in here and be here. So off you go. Off you go. Down you go. here. Let's just take you, put you over. I know you'll probably come back, but there you go. I will be happier if you are here. Okay? So this is a Franchi Giant Pear. So that's what I have on this side here. But there's some beautiful, like here again, great size. I probably will pick this one here today. I've never really talked about this. This came late. It was kind of just leftover tomatoes. It's random ones. Some of them I had started and some of them other people had started. So I haven't pruned. I do see there probably is some Nonas in there, but there is some other ones which I might have put their tags in, but we've got, this was a cucumber that I brought out. So I think we should take you home with us. So I'm going to pick these 2 ripe Provanzanos, and I brought 3 Ziploc bags because I want to do a taste test of these. This and this one here. This is my first year to grow these Provanzanos, and they are an Italian style pear, similar to the Nona. These seeds were actually developed here in British Columbia to handle northern climates. So I wanted to try tasting them. So I want them separated so that I can see and compare this to what I have with the Nonas. I'm also going to pick this Franchi Giant tomato as well, so I have a bag for it, and it can ripen at home. Again, this is a tomato that I'm trying for the first time this year because, again, I wanted to compare how is it towards the Nonas in the flavor and in the growth size. I'm not weighing everything out because that's one thing that I did the year that I grew the San Marzanos against the Nonas, and I got way more Nonas, way better flavor, so it was like Nonas down pat. So the last ones will be these Nonas, and I think there's about 4 that are ripe or partially ripe. So this one looks really good. Looks gorgeous. So these are the Nonas. They're not super big, but I'm not complaining about that. But look at how gorgeous this one is. Just the shine on it, it's beautiful. Mostly cook with tomatoes, so we make tikka masala, we make a salsa, we make tomato sauce and ketchup. And so I want a really great tasting tomato that's going to be great for all those applications. But the other thing is that that Nona tomato is also a great slicing tomato, and it's not full of seeds and juices, so it's great for sandwiches as well. I'm just gonna kind of go through section by section. This is the spaghetti squash, and behind me is the carnival squash, and then the one right beside it is also a spaghetti squash. And I can see we've got lots of spaghetti squashes that are ready to go, so I thought I would make it a little easier for me. I brought the apron because I thought there would be more tomatoes ripe, but this works out great for these two so that I'm not taking 1 or 2. I'm gonna put them in the apron. So we did very well with spaghetti squash again this year, all different sizes. Yeah, these ones are all done. I think I have carnival squash that's trying to come over on this side. So no, you stay over here. You stay over here with your little selves. Let's see, I think that's it that I can see at this point. Carnivals are not ready. Don't see any spaghetti squash left in this row unless they're hidden. So let's go look at those patty pans. We didn't get the bumper crop like we normally do with patty pans this year, but they're still growing, still doing strong. Over here, I ended up with some sort of mite on my zucchinis. And so you can see there's a lot of that on there. And there was, if I turn over the leaf, you'll see lots of aphids. And so this plant does make me very nervous because of the fact that the wasps and bees are really swarming it. I think if I would have got here a little sooner, this patty pan wouldn't be so big. We really love the patty pans, these scallopinis. I think it's probably our favorite summertime squash because they're so great on the grill. Oh, you fell off. I don't know if there's something wrong with you. Oh yeah, I got a hole in you. You can jump in there and compost down. Marissa slices them up and marinates them with, thyme and garlic, and then we barbecue them, and they are so good hot. They are so good cold. Oh dear. Got a couple of big, nice sized zucchinis here. So we like it even better than grilling zucchini, because zucchinis are so much moisture. My zucchinis, again, didn't do that well this year. Like, it wasn't like last year where it was, every couple of days we were bringing home, 4 more zucchinis. It wasn't the same. So I couldn't even celebrate National Zucchini Day on August 8th because I didn't have any, where last year I had so much running around the island here to different friends and leaving them on their doorsteps just so that I could get rid of them. Okay, my hands are too full. I did come and spray this zucchini plant. The one beside it was okay, but I see now it's got the aphids on it. I sprayed it with a neem oil, and that seemed to help it because it was dying. Oh yeah, there's another one. Today there's not as many wasps. Some beautiful zucchinis and some betty pans. In here are the 2 plants. I don't know what they are. It's some sort of hybrid, possibly, or it could be something that I planted but didn't name. It is very reminiscent of a carnival. I haven't opened up one yet, but there's more in there. This is the pumpkin patch, and it is looking great. And these are sugar pumpkins, but they are really, really big and looking great. Got one there turning color. Another one in there starting to turn color. I only had a few plants in here, and it actually is doing very, very well. Oh, let's look at you. Are you done? No, your little curlicue is still going, but this is, it's not, he's a bit squat, but the other ones are quite big. So you look good too. Lots of color in there. Let's see how the watermelons are looking. It's right underneath this barrage, and which is still flowering and got lots of bees. Sadly, it's just the one, and he's a bit lopsided, and it looks like he's got a hole in him. So I don't know if I should just leave him. The bugs will just come and eat him. We're gonna go and look at some kushaws, and it is bringing itself way out here. It's not dying off at all. Kind of more in the yellow section there. I do believe that is kushaw. Can't guarantee it, but I have already picked some because they were getting so big, and the biggest one I've picked so far is 13 pounds. But I wanted to let one ripen right to the end, and so I had chosen, this is the one that has given itself as tribute, and it is looking very, very big. I think there is another big one in here. There is a small one here, but I think he's over there. Let's go have a look. Yes, indeed. Not as big as that other one, but we'll let him go as secondary tribute because he is starting to get big. Let's look at the Georgia candy roaster, the squash that keeps on giving forever. Plant an artichoke here, and he's actually doing pretty good. The artichoke at home in the pot, he is actually doing very well. I planted the Georgia candy roaster here at the end, and then I've just kind of let it trail, and it's going strong. The big one here, and and it's like I'm tempted to pick it just because they get so big. There are 2 big ones right here. Skins are not as dry, but that guy he's quite big. Let's get him out of the gully if I can. It was slimy down there. Oh, he's ripped off. He's coming home. I am very pleased and grateful for the corn, as I love corn. These ones on the end seem to be getting bigger. Oh, you've actually dried. I wonder if you could possibly be ready. Let's pick them. I think that's when you can pick them, is when they're dried. So, not super big, but still fresh homegrown corn. Whoops, sorry plant. I should have held you up. Oh, you don't have anybody else on you. Sorry about that. Ah. So let's have a look-see to see if they're good. Please be good, please be good. Oh, little corn's beautiful. Oh my goodness. Look at that. It's beautiful. Oh, yay. Not a bad grocery store haul for today. I'm pretty pleased. So I do see that I have one more Franchi tomato there that is starting to ripen, so I'm gonna go pick that. And then we're gonna go and continue touring the urban farm. So this is the urban farm in the front yard. So while you're just looking at the overall, I'm gonna do some more picking, as there is some more things that need to be harvested, like this zucchini. There's another one there. So I've got 3 more nice good sized zucchinis, which is great. But now let's take a closer look. Our potato here is still doing well. I do want to pick it sometime to see what is under there. But I had picked the potatoes and planted. And can you see already, one is already sprouted up. But this leads us to the watermelons and the mango melons. So this mango melon, it looks like it's ready. Oops, yeah, he just rolled right off. I don't think that they're supposed to be this small, and I do look forward to trying it. There is this guy, he is not ready, but this is the watermelons that I've got this year, just those 2. Not the best. Pumpkins, on the other hand, look good. Not a lot this year. Usually it's way bigger. This one here is definitely done. So we'll trim him off. A little one. Let's just check this other one. Yeah, you're ready too. We do have some green grapes here. So I think we'll pick those and we'll eat them on our tour. I've picked a few. These are wonderful, delicious and sweet. No seeds. Reds are coming along. I can see in there are some. I could just check that one and see if it's ready. Oh yeah, that's It's so good. So grapey tasting. It's really good. Those ones have seeds, but I'm not sure if they're getting enough water or if they need water or what they need. This is my loofah. I really thought that this would be a great place for it because it's going to get hot sun all day long, and it's just not growing, which is sad. I've got another loofah in there, but again, they just weren't growing. They're just now starting to get green. They were climbing, but then it just they petered out. Again, don't know reason why. I'm looking forward to unveiling this straw bale to see how this sweet potato did, but not very many vines on it, so I'm thinking they're going to be pretty small. Let's move over to this first raised bed where I've got blue Hubbard squash growing in and around it. We've already picked some, sold some. It's been good. They're just everywhere. These little dinosaur eggs. You can see them. So this was a spaghetti squash bed. And I had done a couple of weeks ago because I was just thinking that it's way too early for the spaghetti squash to die off. So I did quite a bit of a pruning to it. The spaghetti squash at the farm, they're all done. But these ones, they're still producing, still flowering, so that's good. But again, I'm wondering, is it the cold nights? Here we have what is supposed to be pepper garden, the leek garden, and onions, but I did pull all the onions out. But the soil I put in here is from my own compost, and it was full of wonderful seeds. So we had lots of surprises in here. Cherry tomato, sweetie cherries, and then these are the daturas, and when you brush by them, they smell like peanut butter. And I have found that when they are inside, they are kind of like a trap crop for aphids, which is great. This one is gonna flower again, but it already has flowered, and it gets these really crazy spiky seed pods, and these will be filled. So I have to make sure that I pick those so that I don't end up with a entire crop of datura in there. And then of course we have our one corn there. Now, I don't know if a corn on its own can, if this is gonna be edible corn. I have no idea. Yeah, like that doesn't look so great. And I have given it some shakes, but not a lot falls from it. So I don't know if these are actually getting pollinated. This one doesn't seem, too bad. But this one seems very small. This one's about medium. And then I do believe that this is a tomatillo here. I just put on these racks because the leeks were leaning over and kind of impeding. So these peppers, haven't had a real good run at it, but such is life. And then this bed here, I have already pulled the zucchini out. This is the carnival squash, and it is usually a late one. But that one, he actually looks like he's ready to be picked. And then the rest in there is the Georgia candy roaster, which these are just looking absolutely amazing. I've already picked 3. Their curlies are not done, so we're gonna let these ones go. These 2 can be tribute as well. And then here's the sweet potato. It got a barrage in there. Again, not a whole lot of vining, so I don't know if we're gonna see a whole lot decent sized sweet potatoes in there. There still is more Georgia candy roaster in there and growing. The kabocha squash, and there is one ripe in there. There is a second one, so I think I've pulled 2 or 3 out of here. Not a really good grower this year for me, but it was nice that it was earlier. And then I've got 2 that they kind of look like they're kabochas. They really do. That, it's like these, but it's also attached to the same vine as that one, I believe. I had checked it a little while ago. Maybe not. I do stand corrected. This vine here is attached to those. So these are 2 more kabochas. So that's great. I never ever did pick the garlic. There is, potatoes here, and I'm sure there's potatoes all around. I had some extra peppers, so I just threw them into ground. And again, I think another squash that I just threw into ground here. But I am just gonna basically say that, this row garden is done. I'll clean it up, and whatever garlic is in there, we'll come back next year and it'll be plentiful. So it's been a couple of days. I had hoped to come to the backyard and finish this tour, but things came up, talking again with my government, and also I needed to bury Cleo, but let's get this finished. To be honest, I am not super happy with the backyard. It doesn't look that great. There is food coming, but it is really slim pickings here. Let's start with what is supposed to be my perennial herb garden. I think that's basil still, but the ladies have come in, and the cilantro is here. I've buried it with some rocks so they don't dig it up. I'm hoping the seeds will just land, but yeah, it's a sad state. My 2-year-old peppers, I do see that we do have some jalapenos, not many. That's probably a California wonder, more jalapenos. And then my cayenne, it's looking good. It looks like it would really like some water though. Cucumbers, they yellowed really early and they didn't get as big. We did get quite a few cucumbers off at the beginning, which is awesome. I see that there is a lovely one here that I will pick. The blackberries. Blackberries were fabulous. This is a thornless blackberry. It still has more coming, which is great. The other one I think is pretty well finished. And then garden bed number 1. Those in there are storage onions. One of the jalapenos worked, but I don't think my bird's eye chilies survived. The broccoli finally came up. The heads did not get very big, and so I have harvested them, and so there'll be some shoots, but broccoli will keep giving little florets. But usually my broccoli plants are just massive, and this year, no. Beside down here, we have our beets, and I think we've pulled out a couple of beets. It's all right. These are going to be either a kidney bean or a pinto bean. I wasn't expecting them to climb, so I did put this rack in here. The plants this year were very spindly. Oh, here's my, it is a volunteer tomatillo, so I have just kind of, instead of staking it, I just kind of let the beans help it stay up. So we'll maybe tuck that in there. But the beans this year, just this side here, plants are a little thicker, less spindly, like the stalks of themselves. Supposed to be Romana, I do believe. I think I had two different kinds over here. Told myself I'd remember which one was which, but you know, Maureen likes to lie to herself. The aphids are very bad in here. This barrage and that barrage, like they're just covered in the aphids completely. This side, the beans are very spindly. Their vines are just, it's super spindly. It hasn't gone up very high either. This is as tall as it's gotten, and they should be filled on both sides. And they're just not. It's just not been good. Again, you know, is it our cold nights that they're not doing well? Typically, the more you pick your beans, the more that they grow, but I'm finding that literally nothing to pick almost, which is, you know, very sad. But even this one, like this one has traveled up higher. You know, maybe they don't like the rust on this arch. Usually the broccoli is 4 times the size. And it's usually on this side, so I have put it on this side. There is fresh soil. Oh yeah, I do have some more bush beans over there that I can pick, but this I did plant quite late. Oh, there is a bean on there, good. Like I said, I'm not sure which one it is. It's just a very sad looking garden as far as I'm concerned. And this is all I've picked. I think the last time I picked, it was basically about this and another handful, but I think that was picking all the beans. So this is like really, really pathetic. Like I should be, you know, filling up big containers full of beans for the amount that is planted there. This is quite exciting. These are sweet pimento peppers. This is what they put inside of your green olives for pimentos. Look at this one over here. Just the brightness and the waxiness. Like, look at that. It's so cool. Again, this 3-tiered garden, I was expecting it to just be bountiful with food, and it's just not. The tomatoes, they did not do super well, but check out this pepper. That's the biggest California wonder I have ever grown. So pleased with that. Going into my salsa. These sweet pimento peppers, they will continue to ripen, so I am going to pick the ones that have blushed just to take off some of the pressure off the plant. There still is some fruit on there, so we'll let them kind of do their thing. What I like about it is that it stays firm. So I think this is a great pepper for salsas because it won't get kind of soft. Typically, my tomato plants are right up to the bar here, and they're just not. This is a volunteer Jerusalem artichoke, so I've let it live. They are hard to get rid of, but it is a really good sustainable food. So it is a good one to have in your garden. You do need to build up a tolerance for it because the type of, I forget, it starts with an L, and if you know what it is, put it down in the comments. But it's like limonene or something like that. You need to build up that in your body system because what it does is it gives you quite a bit of gas. Again, usually I'm fighting my Roma tomatoes. These Roma tomatoes basically have given up the ghost. I've already pulled out the one that was here. It did have some stalks still, so I thought there still is time. It could maybe do some more, but I don't know if we got even a handful of Romas this year. Again, not a great picking of these Nona tomatoes. This is a good size. It's beautiful in red, like the color is wonderful, but that's basically it. Like it just isn't great, and I'm gonna say that it is due to the nights being so cold. You know, we're down to 13 and 15 degrees on our evenings, which, you know, hovers around 55 degrees. And I think some of the plants, it makes them think that it's time to go dormant. I could leave this cucumber longer, but I'm gonna pick him. He's not super big. The amaranth looks beautiful. You know, I don't grow enough for me to actually use it as a grain, but it sure is a pretty thing to have in the garden. I will grow this variety again. And this was amaranth in the pot. It just needed more time because it was overcrowded with all of the poppies. Super proud that this artichoke has survived. It would like some water, so watering will happen today. In behind there again, Jerusalem artichoke. Apples are looking great. I do pick them and eat them, but I had a couple friends try them and they said no, they're not quite ready, because I was hoping that I'd be able to pick them today. I do wonder if the honey crisps are actually ready. Might be picking those. Let's look at garden bed number 2. Those are storage onions. I am super pleased with those. Cauliflower in this bed. The pickling cukes, like there was like, I don't know, 13 on there. We have not gotten enough pickling cukes for ourselves. I'm happy to see that there are still some and flowers. This here is the white kidney beans, and I'm thinking I should probably pick those 2 today. So this bed did have cauliflower in it. I am gonna pull these onions. I love these white ones. The flavor on them is just amazing. So these will be the beginning of my storage onions. Oh, hello, Lulu. Best size of onions I've ever grown. So these are the white kidney beans. So some of these are dry, and there still is some storage onions in there. Last garden bed that we'll look at is garden bed number 3, which was the cabbage one. And purples, I never seem to get the purples to go well. Apples are still not quite ripe. And down in here, this is where, again, I have pickling cukes. Just didn't make it. You know, just a real sad looking bed. I'm grateful for this cabbage. It's not super big, but that'll make some fried cabbage steaks. The pear tree is still full, even though I have pulled 2 huge boxes from it. They're mostly just dropping on the ground, and it's becoming a treat for the ladies because I just don't have the time or the ability to come and pick them. I've tried to encourage some friends, like, hey, if you want some free pears, come and get some. Last will be the kiwi plant, and it just has done so well this past year. It will be the most kiwis that we've ever had. I'm grateful to be able to grow food and to be able to sell it out on my farm stand and also to feed my family and friends. But that is our tour for the end of August. I've got lots of processing to do, and I will be coming up with some other squash recipes to share with you all because it's a lot of squash. There's a lot of squash to process. We have got our work cut out for us. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day wherever you are, and I look forward to seeing you on that next video. And in the interim, while you're waiting for that next video, you can have a look at this one right here just to keep up to date in case you've missed some. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care. God bless.